All right, hello, welcome everybody. How you doing? How you doing? It's let's see. I see Conforce up there. I'm gonna switch to the main screen here. Let's see here. There we go. And I got these clunky damn headsets on because we already got a voice bomber because he wanted to just drop in real quick. He just saw me in here and jumped in there. It's a Conquering Thought, who hasn't done a YouTube video in a while. I'm trying to figure that out why, other than being sick.
Well, at first it was because of sick, but even at more first, it's lack of whatchamacallit. It's not motivation. It's the drive. Yeah, let's go with drive. That makes the most sense.
Ah, yes, and I get that. I got these damn clunky headsets on, headphones on. Did not want to do this because I can't find the small earbuds, and I forgot that we had them, and I've always hated them because they slip out of my ears easily. I've got small ears.
Yeah.
And they've always annoyed me, and I hate things that don't feel like they're set into place.
Well, the Galaxy buds are pretty good, but a small-eared friend of mine tried putting them on, and they do not sit well unless you take off the little thing that they got going around them and put in like one of the smaller ones.
Oh crap!
And it's a pain to do that, but they work for me, so it's kind of whatever.
Damn it! And I can't find out. My daughter probably they were for my daughter, but she stopped using them, and I think maybe she broke them, or maybe they got swept up since nobody was using them. It happens. But yeah, man, welcome, Kind Force. That's Zero, or better known now basically as Graveyard Shift. And I suggest checking out his channel on YouTube. It's he's young, and you get to hear him develop and stuff like that. It's really cool. And he's always willing to listen and correct himself, so that's always a major plus. And he also got other channels like Zero and whatnot, where he does his wrestling commentary. He's got various promotions and stuff, but it's gaming. So, and I know you're not into that, but someone listening or will listen may be into that, so I'm doing it for them.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this and stuff. Yeah, let's get these topics rolling and stuff. And you know what? Jumping into the video bombing area is absolutely okay. So if someone's listening and they're like, whoa, man, I take issue, or I got my thoughts on this and I want to expound on it. Okay, fine, So that's what it is. But don't come in here being a dick. Don't roll up in here like that. And in order to get here, if you want to do the video bombing, you would have to go to the Discord area, which is located down there in the panels, in the panel section right up under the screen. As you can see, let's say Discord, there's Aspiration. You can find me on YouTube, and you can contribute to the show if you want. It's all good, all welcomed. Let's see, and I know since everybody's losing money and people getting out of jobs, I'm not expecting anyone to donate. And the fact that I'm a tiny little person anyway, I don't expect anything anyway. So, still, anything rendered is highly, deeply appreciated. So let's roll with this. We got like 6 topics today. So
let's do it.
Here's the first one. And it's been a while. I had these up here for about a week or 2, maybe 3, and I haven't looked at them. And I'm going to get more. I might do another one later today. But what? Oh crap. Okay. Thought you said hey. Okay, never mind. All right. First topic says, should you confess to cheating after a one-night stand?
Huh.
Now, any player would be like, hell no. You don't even tell the one-night stand that you had the one-night stand with the one-night stand.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like I'm an honesty absolutist, so that's kind of like that's some contract shit right there for me. Like I would.
Okay,
but that's just me.
Here's the question. How would you deal hearing? Let's say you sat there, you watched this like it was a TV show, and the girl cheats, and she tells her man or her girlfriend, it's like, last night I had an affair. Sorry about that, and then walks off to the kitchen.
I don't know, man.
would you think
It would be pretty funny. It would be pretty funny.
Do you think a fight should ensue after that, or what?
I mean, on one hand, like, realistically, a fight probably should. But, like, just knowing me, if I hadn't established any sort of ground rules in advance with that person,
yeah,
I would have to let it go.
I mean, yeah, you got to have a relationship contract. Without it, you can't say anything, you know.
Yeah.
But there are some blind supposed who's like, look, don't be messing around, don't do that, you know. Leave me before you cheat on me, you know. And Kind Force says, oh boy, I got some shit to say about that. It's like, come on in, come on. So me, you know, it's like should, you know, that's obligation. So should you confess your cheating after one night stand? For me, yeah, I would say yes. Do it. Explain why it happened, and if they don't want to hear it, then don't say anything. Or you can just say, look, you should at least have closure to why it happened, so you don't distrust the next person. You just distrust me.
True.
You know, so at least have some closure. And then you gotta wonder, what if the person says, I never cheated on you. I cheated on my one night stands.
Wait, what? Hold up.
That's a hell of a thing to walk into.
Yes. That is the interest right there.
Yeah, it's like what if your relationship is having one night stands with various people, but then you get a committed relationship and that is your side piece? What if your commitment is your side piece?
Oh man,
That is disrespectful. One.
But to who? To who?
True. So let me get this straight. If your main chick is the side chick, that's the one I stand, but your main chick is the side chick. Wait, what? I
no.
Okay.
You, the commitment part is technically the side one.
Well, damn, that's unfortunate.
That
That's unfortunate.
The main question is, should you confess to cheating after a one night stand? So let's say you're working at the office, or you are getting off work, or whichever the hell you know, and it's something that's been building for a while. I hate to use this terminology, but one thing leads to another that's been building between you two. You screw. Should you tell your main piece what has happened?
I'm gonna be all honesty. If you have the balls to do that, then go ahead.
It's like
if you don't, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like you got the major genital to cheat on me. You might as well tell me.
Right.
All right. And look, I'm going to upload this to YouTube later, so anyone that's watching on YouTube, you put down in the comments how you respond to these things. You know, just, I'm curious about it. So let's see. That's done with topic 1. Topic number 2. It says, is Taylor Swift's video, "The Man," a proper representation of men in today's society? I had that shit loaded, had not watched it, and I kept looking like, why is this loaded on my fucking screen? But I haven't seen it, but I'm going to tell you this right now. There is nobody's video that's a proper representation of any dude today.
That is fucking straight.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's a doomed to fail question right there.
Yes, it is. You know, it's the man. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, okay, you got toxic masculinity, and what's that? When people say you got to be a real man, take it like a man, be a man about it. Really? I mean, what the fuck? You know? That's stupid in of itself. Don't be you. Be what everyone says you should be just because you got cock and balls. That's what that says. And so how you going to be a man about something if you are being subservient to a man and you think being a man is not being subservient to anyone?
My head hurts now.
Oh yeah, we are the mental rabbit hole of what ifs and shit. So that's what you jumped into.
That is what you have jumped into.
Fuck.
Okay. I'll try to make it simple. Try to make it simpler. Okay, you say be a real man, or you got to be a man to take it like a man.
Right.
Who tells you what it is and is not to be a man?
Isn't a man supposed to say that to another man instead of a woman? Or because
that's the thing. It's not if you're going to define it in a strictly scientific way, yeah, sure, you can do that. But past that point, there is no way to do that. It becomes pure opinion. So you can't really do that.
Yep. Someone tells you, well, okay, you lost your job. Instead of bitching and moaning about it, do something about it. Get another job. Get a better job. And that right there, that ruins societies, because then they say, okay, don't complain. Don't feel sad. Don't be upset. Be a champion. Be a man. At that moment, you've already hurt yourself, because now you're being their bitch. That's first and foremost. You're being that man's bitch. And they're telling you not to have emotions, telling you not to feel things that bother you. So you can't say, I'm a real man. I stand on my own 2 feet because this man tells me how to do it. That defeats itself.
It does.
And not having watched this particular music video, even if it portrays men in the perfect set of circumstances to make them look as best as possible or as worse as possible, all you gotta do is point to literally one person, like, boom, you're wrong.
Yeah, any one of them. Like, nope, that ain't it. Try again. You have failed this contest. Let's see. We'll move past that silly shit. All right. Next topic. It's declarative. The gig economy is destroying Silicon Valley. First of all, fuck Silicon Valley. That's just me. Fuck them.
Wait, what economy?
Silicon Valley. Yeah, the gig economy are basically
we should probably define gig economy and Silicon Valley, because
gig economy is mainly like Uber and things like that, old school taxi cab services, or doing online stuff like YouTube used to be, things like that.
Here's another example of the gig economy. Nannies, house cleaners, pet sitters, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff where you're like, oh, hey, this one guy, he wants me to do a thing. Can you pay me for it? And I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's not like you have a structure. You just go somewhere and do something because you need money.
Like how DoorDash began and other things like that. To make it simpler for you.
Or honestly, how Amazon used to be in its early stages.
Woo, yes. Hire random people to do random shit. Oh, they're doing that now. They're doing that now. Random people in their cars and stuff. It's not Amazon trucks. They come in station wagons and minivans and shit.
The fuck?
They have outsourced something and turned that into a gig. So yeah, that is true.
And to make it better for you, Kind Force, it would be pro wrestling, the freelance wrestler. The guy that roams around and just goes from company to company looking for work, instead of the guaranteed contract people like WWE, TNA, and stuff like that. That would be the difference. So if the territories were around and people just go around freelancing instead of having to work for these major promotions that kill those territories for people to work freely, that would be it. So Silicon Valley would be WWE. That's what Silicon Valley is. In a sense, Silicon Valley is basically this, how can I say how it's spoken of? This upper crust, uber wealthy, self-imposing oligarchic area. It's technology comes out of there, basically. That's what it's spoken of.
Yes and no.
Yeah, that's why I say spoken of. Don't make it a fact. You know?
Right. Okay, that's a good way to say that.
Oh, thank God I got freaking. Thank God I'm in a computer. Well, I'm just saying that just because, so I could literally research this while and taking all this information at the same time. So,
yeah.
Technology.
Your computer comes from Silicon
search
Valley.
engines.
Your computer comes from Silicon Valley.
Oh shit.
Hello, Silicon.
But considering the gig economy is part and parcel of Silicon Valley, I would have to disagree with the statement.
Yeah, I mean, what if by chance, sort of, Silicon Valley, they are making the gig stuff happen in the first place because they are monopolizing so much, but then they take advantage of monopolizing and say, hey, here's these subsidiary groups that we don't know who made them, but you get the opportunity to do what you want to do at your own pace and your own time, but truthfully, it's just them. Kind of like how Frontier is a subsidiary thing for Verizon, but they say it's a competitive thing, and now it's all known that it's just a sister company. That kind of thing.
I kind of had a thought on this. Wouldn't it be more appropriate to say Silicon Valley is destroying the gig economy? Because as Silicon Valley becomes more and more efficient, there are less and less gigs.
And that's true. You can easily say that. Yep.
Like the strong. It doesn't matter how strong or weak Silicon Valley is, because by definition of how it works, you get less gigs because there's more structure. It's corporate structure, but it's still structure.
And gig isn't short for gigabyte. All right, I can't remember the actual word, but back in, I think the word first came up back in the 1930s or whatnot.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, a gig.
Yeah,
I think it was musical at first. Then it turned into just a job in general. I got a gig over here, a gig over there, you know. So that can also be the confusion. I wanted to clear that up as well. Y'all ready to go? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to figure out how you figure out what gig is, because there's that one, and then there's like the metric system way of saying it, or as in just the like Latin for big, basically.
Oh, okay.
Just different ways to look at it.
Various ways, and variation is good. That thing that people usually don't like.
Yeah, all you got to do is add some context, and you're done. You don't need to complicate yourself.
No, you don't. Don't complicate yourself, man. It's simple. All right. Insert shaft into hole. It is done. That's it. It don't matter what.
All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, because I'm about to get dirty.
Fuck.
He knows me.
Shit.
Okay, number 4.
Next topic. Hurry up.
Is anarchy the only ethical system of society?
No.
The fuck? No.
I mean, like balls to the wall, do whatever you want to do, like whatever, and then kill who you want to kill, yada, yada, yada. You know, we got anarchy, but it's only for the upper crust, not for anybody else.
Okay.
Anarchy is just
there's
oh, my bad.
Sorry, it's all right. Politically speaking, there are hundreds of different ways to describe anarchy. So it's impossible to say this without pissing off somebody.
Yes.
But
oh well, you gotta deal with it.
If we go on the basest of terms, the basest of understandings of the word anarchy, it goes completely against ethics in general. You can't have. It's like it's a contradiction. You can't say oh, let's have no rules in a certain set of whatever. It doesn't matter whether it's the biggest set or the smallest set. If you say there are no rules in this circumstance, you can't then call that ethical, because ethical is all about setting rules on either yourself or the populace or whatever thing you're working with.
Like, how many pairs come in threes? It don't work that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Let's go. This is a definition of anarchy. Okay, so number 1A, absence of government. So hold up. Yeah, absence of government.
Like
That'd be
no
the first
authority.
one.
Like no authority.
Right.
No, it's government. If government equals authority, then that's where we're really fucked up. Because government is not meant to be authority. Government is meant to help people function, help the society function. The society creates the government. The government is controlled by the society. The rules are placed for. It's like, okay, we need this. We send people to the government to do this. Now we got these laws, these rules. If people didn't fuck up, we wouldn't need government. All right, but people fuck up, so we need government. So
we need fucking authority. We need everything because we already losing shit.
We got authority. Don't fuck with the rich. That's the only authority you have to know. Do you have an employer? Do you have an employer? Don't fuck with that person. If they tell you to take a pay cut, shut up and deal with it. That is the authority. Are there cops? Yes. But they were never the authority. They were the constables on patrol. They were the people that help protect the people. Now they protect the government and they just get away with doing some stupid shit and there's nothing you can do because they're a cop. And since people appeal to authority, no one can really downplay these cops. They can't check the cops. The cops check the people. And that's the problem. So if there's an absence of government, is that ethical? No, because it's not going to help. Government is to regulate the stupid of people, to cancel the stupid and put in some good stuff. That don't happen anymore. So AB is a state of lawlessness or political disorder due to the absence of governmental authority. That is an assertion that's framed poorly. But because it's like saying, okay, look, all the senators, the mayors and stuff, they just left the city. They don't care no more. It's done. And then everyone's like,
it's basically the purge.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, the purge is intent to kill. This would be more like the purge is just a part of that system now. That's what it would be. It wouldn't be a purge. It would be a fuck it all. I'm living my life. You fuck with me, I kill you. And then their family is like, you killed my family member. Now I got to kill your family. There's nothing to stop it. There is nothing in the way. And the police were in the way of that. Think of the mob. The mobsters back in the day in the 20s and 30s and 40s up to the 70s. You put a hit out, then another family might take a hit out, and it goes back and forth until there's a mob war. The police was like, y'all stop that shit. And without the police / government to regulate it, they get to do whatever they want. That would be anarchy. So regulation is important. The next one, AC, a utopian society of individuals who enjoy complete freedom without government. That's more of a description. That's what definitions are, a description, but this...
Well, that is a description of what people idealize anarchy as. It's the ideal.
That's positive. That's the positive version.
Yeah,
utopian society.
That's what the most optimistic view of not having authority over you is. But the thing is, if you take authority to its basest, simplest root and just say, hey, it's one person having just setting a rule down, right?
Yep.
And well, let me make it. Authority is rules. Whether you enforce them or not is dependent on the power structure. So it does not matter if it's a small family unit and one person has authority over the other. or if there is such a thing as shared authority. You could have, and it's the basis for our government, even though it's not really enforced in any way, shape right now, because supposedly one section of the government is supposed to have authority over the other, and that is supposed to have authority over the other, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So there's
it's a not necessarily a chain of command, but a check and balances. You know,
Right.
like Trump would be the executive. You've got the Senate, the House, that would be the legislative, and then you got the judges in the judicial, and they're not supposed to work together. They're supposed to check each other's shit.
yeah, they're supposed to work together as so far as
Maintaining some kind of semblance
Order.
of decency and order. But instead,
Right.
it's executive says, I want this. And he's like, and the judicial's like, we might get in the way. And he's like, what if I give you this kind of power and freedom to do whatever you want? And they're like, we support whatever you do. And then and the House is like, we oppose certain things. And he's like, I will shame you and get whatever I want. And they're like, you're right. We're sorry. We agree with you. And that's what we got. So now you got the executive being the executive. And that's the problem.
Like, to me, what you just described make it sound like they just straight pussies.
Yeah.
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 That is our government right now.
Yeah.
Like, we are all afraid of how Trump is going to ruin our financial career. That's it. We're afraid of this person ruining our financial career. Like Alejandra Ocasio-Cortez, how she won't making a lot of money, but all of a sudden now she's back. She's saying good things about Pelosi. She's firing progressive staff members. You know, I'm like, in a year from now, you're not going to recognize AOC. You're not. You know, she's going to be changed because she's already doing the things to ease out of being a progressive and into the establishment, because she wants money, she wants power, she wants access so she can, I guess, enact change, some kind of bullshit strategy. No, a progressive doesn't compromise. That's it. I did a video on this, man.
Everything is some level of compromise, but the way you compromise is important. Because if you're you can compromise on strategy as long as you basically say, here's my personal line in the sand. You cannot cross this personal line. And the problem with AOC is I don't see that in her actions. I see that in her rhetoric, but I do not see that in her actions.
Yeah, and I've learned to not give a shit too much about. I hear what someone says, I understand what they say, but their actions tell you what they're really doing, and that's what I care about. Her action says, I'm a pussy. Her rhetoric says, I'm a strong lioness. And I'm like, you can roar as much as you want, but while you're backing up away from the cub, you know, like, we got an issue.
For real. This fucking country itself is a whole issue.
Yes, it is.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, I think we have veered slightly off topic.
It's still going on anarchy, but it's just other things. But you're right, it is slightly off topic. But I'm gonna go ahead and get to the let's just get this one off, because anarchy is the only ethical system.
Yeah, that's a contradiction of terms. That's a contradiction of terms.
And it's framed real bitch-madely, so fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh. Mostly stuff in the damn shit is framed like a bitch.
It is. Now
here's
another one. Now we're gonna get hate on this one. Number 5. Right. Fashion.
I already talked about religion, so it's like whatever.
No, fashion can never be feminist.
The fuck does the okay?
What does that even mean?
I'm so confusion.
I don't know. Fashion can never be feminist.
Fashion is fashion. I don't give a fuck.
Like,
just wear something decent at least. Not really. Something like I don't know.
At all. Like, they're not related, so I don't understand how that even makes sense.
They're really not.
Okay, let's see. Because I've listened to a lot of people that don't know how to speak online anyway. I've been doing this since 2005.
All right.
So, motherfuckers usually can't talk. So this is how this probably is trying to be worded. Um, there is no wait. Fashion can never equate to feminism. So, is like women's clothing probably could never express feminism. For example, and this is a real fucked up example right here. Some years ago, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider character, when she was first made, she had like flat ass, flat everything, huge breasts. That's how she was, just huge
pointy ass breasts. You forgot about that.
They were pointy and they were large. But
yes.
over time, this feminist movement come up, and they're like, so all she has are large breasts, yada yada yada. So that's what makes a woman to you. That's a woman. So there's a lot of hate on that. Okay, so their roar was that loud. So game makers, what they did was they said, okay, we scaled her breast down and filled the rest of her body out to be more realistic. And so she's got still flat ass, not much going on anywhere, and her breasts are smaller. To me, the smaller breasts are far more functional because it's going to be hard to fight with those things in your fucking way. So they made her battle worthy. And when they did that, the feminists said, what the hell is wrong with you? You removed her breast and you removed the one thing that made her look like a real woman. That's what happened.
They don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know what they want. Like, they want this, but they can't even get it, regardless of how many times we, like, fucking give it to them. And then they want to start bitching, complaining, moan about it being like this instead of what they visioned, which is fucking stupid.
And that is the issue.
All right. Another way to sort of talk about this is the way the first question was, like, how you'd have to define it in the first place, which you can't, because the second you do, you just point to somebody else and like, boom, you're wrong.
Yep. Opinions are not facts. Facts don't have opinions.
Right.
That's really how that goes. When your opinion becomes a fact, you have a belief. that's how that rolls.
Okay, I can now formulate a way to make this a true statement.
All right.
Okay, I'll put it back up then.
Fashion can never be feminist because feminists can't define fashion, I guess, or the opposite.
Ooh.
No.
Because here's the thing: a lot of things you just simply reverse it, and is that all right? That's how you can test a lot of things. Just reverse it. Feminism can never be fashion.
Right.
It's like,
I mean,
what?
I kind of had to throw in extra words to make that work, but that's basically what I did.
Yeah, it's painful. It's painful. Learn to put correct sentences, people. Fuck.
I need that for my life. My shit's all fucked up.
All right, final one.
All right. Let's do this.
Crap. Here we go. Whew. Does mainstream feminism exploit women of color?
What they gotta do with anything?
Okay.
All right.
This is gonna be a subtle.
Guess.
This is gonna be a subtle deep dive, guys. All right.
All right.
Oh, this is gonna be painful. All right. So listen, I have to do this for people to gain context of what this might be asking. So, when it came to women getting the right to vote, women's rights and stuff, burning of the bras and things like that, that was not inclusive of black women. It wasn't. If you read the Constitution in general, that was made for men, not women, and not black men, or anyone that was not white. The Constitution was not written for anyone not white. Burning of the bras, not made for women of color in general. Black women, Latina, it didn't matter. Puerto Rican, don't matter. When it comes to the feminist movement, there are lots of black feminists, but when you watch any feminist movement that's shown on TV, paid TV, or mainstream media, you don't see women of color in it. And if you do, it's that very subtle dusting of it, like one or two, which is why it's called a token. So when it comes to the mainstream of feminism and they want to bolster their side, but they want to go into other talk shows where there are women of color, of any form of women of color, from Asian to African, that includes, anything of Spanish or whatnot. But they go to them and talk like, yeah, we women, and especially black women. And they have that rhetoric, but it's only for their show. And when they get the people that watch the show say, yeah, I agree with what she's saying, they go to their website. They go to their, well, honestly, I got to say it, their tribe. But they aren't supporting women of color. They're supporting these white women that are doing it. So that's why the question is, does mainstream feminism exploit women of color? That's what that means. And going on what I said, I would say yes. Going on the history and histories, I would say yes, it does. What would you two say?
All right. If we're going historically speaking, I think you're absolutely correct. But on the does mainstream feminism
I feel like it exploits everybody.
Okay, there's I'm just gonna have to agree and be okay with it, because I can't think of any extra nuance to add to this.
It's hard because there are. Here's the thing: there are lots of black women, Latina women, Puerto Rican women, whatnot, Asian. They're feminists. They want women's rights. They want to be equal with their male counterparts. Okay, there are lots of groups out there, subgroups and whatnot, but they don't get mainstream media time. They don't. No one even knows that they exist. Even the people in their own community don't even know they exist. So,
well, shit.
So when your own community don't even know that your feminist movement don't exist, however, when they go on TV, they watch the TV and they see that, oh, this girl's from my neighborhood. Man, yeah, I like what she's talking with this other girl. But the problem is, she's not going to support the one in her community. She's going to support the guest on the show, which would most likely be Caucasian. So that's the other underlying issue, trying to respell it out. And so, is it exploiting them? It's like exploitation would mean we use you to bolster us, but you get nothing out of it. Sort of like a Ponzi scheme.
Like everything.
Well, yes.
Sounds like everything, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's like, my thing is like, we all being used any way we can. Well, we are being used by basically practically everything. So they do
whatever you want. They're like, we support whatever.
When I hear the word exploit, I'm sorry, it just reminds me of this one fucking
he's like, I will share
porn.
Hey, did somebody listen to something about me? We agree with you. And that's what we got. So now you got the executive being the executive. Okay, what the fuck? That was me. I somehow hit the... my computer has this weird laggy delay, so when I'm trying to get stuff off of the damn thing, it's I clicked the volume button and whatnot. That's what happened. So I was hearing me 7 seconds ago talking. So hold on, let me turn this down. There we go. Now it's off. Good grief, because that was bugging me. I was like, what, have y'all loaded something? It was bugging me, but. CRChat.
be bug.
So yeah, it's a thing. What did you have something to say?
Nah.
He's gotta get up here somehow.
Okay, well, okay. Look, you can get the mic and just say what you got to say, because typing it is going to take a while. She just got something she wants to say, and
I'm trying to go through the standard protocol, but okay, because I can't find it.
no, you're not going. No, Twitch, you ain't gonna. No, you have to put in Twitch, Twitch.tv/CRChat, all one thing. But she got something to say.
Now, recount for me the title one more time of this subject.
The title is, it says, "Does mainstream feminism exploit women of color?"
Oh, okay. Good. Yes, the answer is yes. There's no ambiguity about it. You don't even have to go back to the history of feminism, because black women were black women, so they weren't worth anything because they were black women. They weren't considered by the women feminists back during the suffrage movement. We were a quarter of a person still, so it didn't make a difference. But you can also tell that modern feminism doesn't include black women is based on how much appropriation that there is. White women love to get the micro braids and like their lips to be thicker and their asses to be bigger, and try to dance out provocatively and shit like that. But if that was done by a black woman, it's seen as over sexualized and nasty and oh, look at her. But Kim Kardashian is the epitome of beauty. What's she got? A sex tape and ass. That's the only reason why she got famous. If she had been black, she wouldn't have got famous. So consider that.
That is fucking accurate. That is so
They're
accurate.
always appropriating what's beautiful about black women without recognizing black women. So no, the feminist movement doesn't give a shit about black women.
I put the link in the chat there, so you can just go ahead and get to it. But yeah, they right now they agree. They agree. Yeah. So
I'm just wondering where this list came from, because 3 out of the 6 were highly what's the word for it? Sex divisive? Let's go with that.
it's
Like they were topics specifically on what are the divides between men and women.
that was that I got that one 2-3 weeks ago. So there are other ones that are going to be up here. I could do another cast later. It's just I didn't want to really go over an hour, and it's 47 minutes, so we've got time going on an hour stretch. But yeah, these are coming from Kialo. That's where they're coming from. That area that was so beautiful, but then it got screwed up. So I guess
As things happen.
Yep. People not doing what they need to do and screwing things up. So I get these from time to time, like once a week or whatnot, and I've got a lot of them. Like I think 50, 60 of these subjects, topics, because each one has about 5 to 6, maybe even 7 subjects in there. And I picked the top ones that either were appealing, or if there's not many, like 6 or something, I'll just get them all. And I'm like, it seems silly, but we'll talk about them. That's how I'm doing that. And I got more to do. I got more. I just gotta scroll down. I'm looking at my email right now. I do not see it up here because all this damn Young Turk stuff and other stuff. That's one of 50 of 1,163.
What the fuck?
I got a lot.
Yeah.
I got a lot of emails. I've watched the shows, but I haven't deleted the emails. Normally, I will click on the email, watch the show, and delete the email as I go. That's normally what I do. I've probably got about 40 from 00. I've probably got about yeah. And see, Kiala says your weekly discussion summary. So those are the ones I click on. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know what? I'm going to do one later on. Because this was on Yeah, y'all are gonna like this. I'll do another one later on, okay?
All right.
It'll probably be soon within the next hour or two or whatnot, but I'm gonna get them up there and I'll start a new stream. Cause this one I'm gonna do this one and I'm gonna delete it. I think it's out of order, but
Oh boy.
it's about it involves genders, COVID-19,
Oh no.
vaccine preventable illnesses, religion and feminism, and parents with myths and stuff.
Man, I already did a stream supposed to be about game development, but then we start talking about religion and shit. Oh my god.
I was playing Minecraft while he was talking about it, and I'm sitting here like, he gonna get me killed because I gotta pause and type this shit. So this, oh yeah. So I'm gonna get the next one set up, and that'll be episode 3 because I already did the pilot, and then Zero and Pony was there for like, what was it, a 2-hour random stream? Did that when while
That
playing.
shit was funny.
While playing Minecraft. I was just wilding out, saying random shit and being honest as usual, but trying to be far more lighthearted, like I am today, just actually more lighthearted then. So yeah, that's that'll do it for this show right here. I'm gonna get the next ones up and do another one later on, probably in the next hour or two. But yo, sign up for Twitch. It sucks. It's Amazon. I don't even care if they was endorsing me. I'd be like, fuck Amazon because of what they do to their employers and employees and stuff like that. Everybody gets fucked over. The management, the grunt workers, they all get screwed over. All so Bezos can just save some money. So,
Isn't that like every single last company?
Every single one, yeah.
If it gets big enough, then yes. But there are small companies that actually treat their employees and the upper management correctly.
I'm talking about like big companies. I mean, there are places around here that are starting to say we pay a livable wage and things like that. Their prices are slightly higher, but honestly, the quality of their food is better too. So
Yeah.
I'm glad about that, because if you got happy employees, then you're going to have better quality food. You could you can have subpar ingredients, but they'll make that mess seem like it's golden. So, I'm glad that they do that. But yeah, I'm gonna close the stream out, guys. So anyone out there, hey, on YouTube or whatnot, you want to get in on this? I'm gonna I'll put the links in the description on where to go. You can join on Twitch, and you can video bomb on Discord. Well, voice bomb on Discord, which is what they did, just jumping in and talking. So everyone can have fun, chill. Just be respectful. Don't come in with some more bullshit. If you got objections, be respectful about it. It's easy. So, as I've been saying, be safe, stay inside. And you know what? Just listen. Just listen to the scientists. Listen to those that know. Keep your ass inside. I can't stress that enough. Oh, man. So, the ones that was in chat with me today, Conquering Thought, check out his YouTube. Kind Force up here, but Graveyard Shift on YouTube, and Zero on YouTube as well.
You got to spell out that second name for everybody though.
XER0.
Oh, dash zero. Got dash.
I said hyphen. Okay, dash.
Oh.
Hyphen, dash, and then 0.
It's the weirdest name I ever thought of, but I like it anyways.
Yeah, why did you? Never mind.
Yeah, you're going to keep going down rabbit holes like that, man.
Yes, I need to stop asking questions. I like asking questions sometimes. Okay. All right. I'm going to end it here, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for your consideration and whatnot. All of that stuff. Thank you. Have a good day.
Ciao.